What's up, guys? Welcome to Disc Golf News. I have a very special guest with me today. Is Andrew Lauer. Andrew is a local, probably soon to be professional. We're going to talk about that in just a bit. But he's had an amazing season so far, at least I would say. Last 2 out of 3 tournaments, he's won 2 out of the 3 in MA1. Got his first ace, which was surprising. That was his first ace this year. And probably the reason you're watching this video is because this guy right here is an AM that's throwing around 550. So we're going to talk about that, the milestones that he took in order to get to where he's at today. So what's up, Andrew? How's it going today, man?
Doing all right, yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. Thanks for coming on, of course. This is the second interview we're doing on the channel. I'm going to have a bunch of different people come on. The last one was a ton of fun, so I thought I'd bring you on up. Also, I forgot to mention in the intro, also got your first sponsorship this year, which is really cool.
Yes, sir.
There it
Cajun Jesters
is.
Disc Golf.
There it is. Tell them to watch this video, and if it ever blows up or if any of the shorts blow up, they can point back to the video. But yeah, dude. So obviously, like I said, like it's been a successful season, and a lot of people probably respect that. But one of the big things we're gonna hit on today is your distance, man. Again, Andrew shot his distance last spring around 550. He's probably throwing further now. I played with him personally because again, he's a local. I know he's throwing over that, and we're gonna show you his form in this video and kind of break it down. Um, so this is going to be thinking backwards a little bit, but like, when do you think, like, how long ago was it that you broke like 400?
I probably broke 400 about 2 years ago when I first came up to Pineville, Alexandria for school. I was playing with a group of friends, and they taught me really how to get my form and really pull through on that disc, and that's when I
Mm.
probably broke 400. It was about 6 months into playing.
Do you remember like certain parts of your form that was like big on getting you easily past that consistent 400
Yeah, one of the main things was reach back.
reach
I
back?
had this two-handed thing where I would bring the disc back with two hands, kind of like an ultimate type thing that I had going on, and I had to break that habit. That was the first thing I had to break.
Let's go ahead and bring up your most recent form that I have on here right now. This is from probably what, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that
So
was 2 weeks ago.
kind of explain to me how this is different than your form that was just getting past 400.
So right there in the full on back, when I'm full reach back, I actually used to have my hands, both hands still attached to the disc.
Mm.
And when see, I
You
still have
still
that
kind of,
two-handed
as I
thing.
say,
I
you still
still
kind of
there.
touch it, bro. Look at this. I pause this. You're actually like bending the disc a little bit. Like you, I don't know if you can see it from your view, but you can actually see you bending the disc a little bit.
I don't know if that's the hands doing that or if that's just the
Maybe the camera or
forward
something.
momentum. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't really notice that earlier. But yeah, I let go right there. I used to not let go. Right where you pause, I used to still have my second hand on it, and
Mm.
it was really dragging the disc back. Um, there's still one thing I'm working on is on my reach back is going to the full reach back. I don't reach back straight all the way, and I'm still working on that. But that is one of the things that I've been working on for the last couple of years is just some bad habits right there. Is that full reach back and letting go with that hand and just trusting your right hand to do all the work.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does remind me. I'm trying to see if I can find a good example of it. Somebody who throws further than you, but also has the same reach back as Calvin Heimberg. And he kind of has that same like it's not like a full extension, but both of you are like pretty tall. Like, aren't you like what are you like 6'1", 6'2"?
I'm 6'2", 6'3",
6'2".
somewhere in that range. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you can almost get away with not having, because your length on your arms, on like not having that full extension like a Drew Gibson or Paul Macbeth. Because again, Calvin Heimberg is kind of similar. I can't, for some reason, his reach back doesn't pop up on Google. But Calvin does almost that same reach back as you do. It's not full extension, but it's enough extension to get the distance that you need.
Yeah. One of the things that I've really analyzed is I actually went back and looked at a video that Simon Lizotte posted. He's one of my I guess celebrity disc golfers. I
Mm.
love him. I love what he does for the game. Um, and so I went back and looked at one of his earlier videos of his form, comparing it to Casey White's.
Yeah.
Um, and when I realized that is I actually copied a couple things from him. One of them you can notice my disc is actually tilted in on a more or less Spike Heiser angle, in my hand. In my hand. on the reach back, and then it comes up to flat right there where you have it
Mm,
paused. He does that also. I don't know if you'll be able to find that, but he does
yeah.
that little tilt of the disc, but he does the straight reach back. See how that I have that hyzer
Mm.
angle in my hand, and I don't know if that changes anything, but I bring it up to flat. I go from hyzer to flat in the reach back. I don't
Yeah,
know
that
the
makes
physics
sense.
of that, but I just noticed I kind of copied that off of him.
Well, I cut a lot of these into like different shorts. So if I have the time, I could actually put you guys side by side and put that into a short. I think that'd be kind of cool for reference to the video. So maybe at some point later we can try to figure out exactly what video or like what you're talking about, so I can pull it up and kind of put it side by side.
Okay.
So so for 400, really getting that second hand off was just kind of like a random habit that you had. Were you were you stuck for a while at 450, or did you just kind of jump from 4 to 5? Or like, that next like big step, what do you think that was for you?
100% was in the hips. Um,
Mm.
you can see I get my hips a full 180 degrees turned around, if not even more. Um, and then I do a full 180 pivot off that right heel. And I really thrust. You see, my body actually sinks down a little
Yeah.
bit because I'm really thrusting into my hips and really torquing. When you get those hips involved, that's where 80% of your power really comes from. It comes from your legs. Everything is built on a firm foundation. If you don't have that firm foundation, you're not going to have the distance.
Mm. Was there any minor tweaks you had to do? Like, was your posture always pretty good, or did you have to change your run up at all to kind of like focus on that? Because I know for me, I know what to do sometimes, but it's like something else random is throwing it off. Like, yeah.
I really actually struggle with the X step.
Mm.
Um, I kept tripping myself up and I'd almost fall. Like I almost fell on my face multiple times learning that. But once I finally broke some of those little habits and got used to it, um, it kind of just started getting more and more natural. And I played golf, like regular ball golf, and a couple other sports that really involve the hips, and that are really just sports that if you do not have that hip torque, you're not going to be able to
Mm.
hit the ball well. Um, so I think both of those sports that I play really played into disc golf. And so once I got um, the basics down, I could build upon it of my prior knowledge.
So you didn't play with me during this time period, but I learned he'll never watch this video. But one of our locals, Paul, how he turns completely around, like too much, like not just his hips, but his whole body is turned around. I actually picked up that habit for a while, and dude, I like fell hard at a tournament because I turned completely around. And basically, I just lost my balance because I was backwards. And I when I tried my X step, I tripped on myself and I just felt like on my back on the tee. It was so bad. Like it hurt
Oh,
so bad. It was embarrassing. Like it was so bad. That was years ago, and it's like, oh man. Wasn't long after that I was like, okay, I don't need to completely turn my body around. I need to, it's about your hips, not your entire body.
yeah, no, that's actually a really important thing. It is the hips. It's not your entire body. Like if you bring your shoulders back that far, that just means your shoulders have to come back even further to get back to the middle. One thing that I think about, like I remember trying to think, throw the distance shot. I think like a snake, get coiled up, get tight, um, and really like tuck that arm next to your chest, and then like a snake would explode towards its target, let it all uncoil at the same time, and just strike outwards. Um, and like I don't know, that's just a mental thing I have in my brain. Like if
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a distant shot, coil up and then explode.
No, man, I love it. I love it. Um, and yeah, so this whole, I don't know how long it plays, but I saw you reach the tree line, which is we shot at 500 and you hit the trees. So I remember that specifically on this whole.
It wasn't just to a couple of years ago that I really learned how to mature in my studying. Uh, when I first got here, you remember I was playing every day,
Yeah.
every single day. That's something that actually really helped me. I was playing every day for sometimes 3 rounds a day, and my grades was the evidence of that. But I've really learned to balance those out, and I would say unless you're going to go pro and that's your goal in your life, don't forget about those studies because that's going to be what's most important, later on in life.
Yeah, man, completely makes sense. I guess like one last question on the distance. If you just had to give any random tips of advice for somebody to get that extra 30 or 50 feet, obviously like it depends on the person because you need to look at what's lacking, but like what would be some general tips you'd give them?
Grip, grip on the disc. I like to think of it as you holding on to something you never want to let go of and really, really like hold onto that disc and then let somebody pull on it and don't let them take it out of your hand. That is how
Uh-huh.
hard you have to hold the disc. You are not letting go of the disc. The disc is theoretically ripping out of your hand. You see my calluses from my
Yeah.
hand sometimes of the skin actually getting broken off of my finger um, because I hold onto the disc so hard. And I think that's part of it is whenever you hold onto that disc with a lot of pressure, you might grip lock the first couple of times. It's going to happen because you're not used to it. But I definitely think a nice firm grip really helps because it is the force of the disc leaving your hand and you're not trying to time the let go. Sometimes you actually hear a snap noise because you're holding that disc nice and firm. But yeah, that's one. Some people rotate on their toes. I actually used to do that. One of our friends, Morgan, he
I
really
do.
actually showed me.
I do that as well.
He showed me to rotate on your heel, and
Yeah.
I was like, no. And about 6 months into playing, I had some new shoes that playing on for 6 months. I looked at the bottoms, and I realized that I did start rotating on my heel just by playing with him. I just kind of copied his form a little bit and I looked at the tread and the tread on the heel was absolutely worn out and the toe tread was just fine.
Mhm.
Um, so,
So I actually, real quick, I actually have a clip of me that I might pull up in a bit. Um, I do rotate on my foot, and I try to move to my heel because I saw Simon Lizotte and some other Eagle McMahon, some like big distance players do it. And I don't know if it's just because I don't know what it was, but like it would like hurt me because it was so unnatural. Like I would like stiffen my leg and like basically plant my leg stiffly into the ground to where it would like jerk my knee. Like it would hurt. So like I've just kind of wrote it off for myself personally. I do. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick while we're on this. I might end up cutting this part out because it's so embarrassing how bad my form is. But I do want to show you something about grip that being we're on the topic. It's kind of hard to see in these videos because the quality is so bad on mine, but let me pull it up real quick. So obviously I have a really bad habit with like my reach back, I reach too high. But I also noticed recently, you're talking about grip. I almost let go of the disc when on my reach back. Like I've never noticed I did. I think I noticed at one point and then I just forgot. But like I don't know if you can see in this video. And again, I reached too high. That's fine, but I don't pull through straight enough. But it's like when I am at full extension, again, quality is bad. You can't really see. It's like the disc is coming out of my hands. So I actually thought about going out there one day soon and like just really gripping the disc tightly into like my hand and like not doing that. But again, it's kind of hard to tell in this video particularly. But it's a little cringe because I reach back way too high.
actually, you did rotate on your heel.
On this one, I guess I did. Well, that's funny after just saying that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I would say look at your tread. It'll tell you. Your tread will
Yeah.
tell you. Because I didn't think I thought I always rotated on my heel because I hit toe first. But then you rock back and you actually really pivot on the heel. And if you really, really want to know, like right in this instance, like with some new pair of shoes and you just don't know if you're rotating on your heel or not, stand still will tell you. If you're just standing still and then you do like a little 100-foot shot with a putter or something, you're just trying to work on your form, focus on seeing if you actually rotate on your toe or your heel and you'll be able to tell because it's in a little bit more of a slower motion.
That's funny. It wasn't until this moment that I actually realized that I guess at some point I started rotating on my heel again. I thought I still rotated on my foot because used to, I don't have my shoes with me, but used to, like you said, like my tread on like the flat part of my shoe was like gone. And I would also like, this happened to me in tennis too. like the right side of my shoes or the right side of my right shoe, my toe would like start breaking it and like eventually pop out of it. So it wasn't until that video. I don't know. I've also been trying to change up form a lot this year, so I guess I don't even know how I throw anymore. But any other tips that you would have for those watching?
No, I mean grip, reach back, and hips. Hips, grip, reach back. Those are the three major points that I focus on. And then you can do your own style from those. But I
Mm.
think without those three things, um, you're not going to get to your fullest potential.
I like it. I feel like hips and grips could be like a disc golf clinic, like a good like clicky name for a disc golf clinic that somebody would sign up for.
Yeah, man, maybe you should become an advertiser. I like that name.
Maybe so, man. Well, I think that's really all I have today. Of course, like I'm going to be making disc golf content for a while. It's a lot more casual, but you want to come back on the channel maybe when you're passing 600 feet, and talk about those last little things, to get you there. That'd be crazy, man. That's like top tier distance. But I mean, even like 550 right now is top tier distance, because like at the end of the day, your accomplishments have been great, but like as far as like distance goes, like that's just not average at all. So, congrats to you on your distance and your recent success with disc golf, man. As a friend and somebody who plays with you, like it's cool to see you do as good as you're doing this season. Definitely keep it up.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It was a joy. And yeah, I hope I do reach 600. That is a little of a personal goal on the side that I have. Trying to get there one day. We'll see.
Cool, man. Hey guys, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, like this video for the YouTube algorithms, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.